Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ron. I can't hear anything from the meeting room.
Help, help.
I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community and help all your people. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held March 4th, 2021.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Next item is a presentation for North Face Business Park. We have Kathy Henderson of the Carbon Chamber and Economic Development Corporation.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Kathy.
I think we have a screen share up on there showing the LRTA program. And I also have George Patrol with me. He will be doing a little bit more of a introduction as to what his program is going to be involving North Face and Palmerton. So basically what a LRTA district is it was established. You can advance to the next slide, please. The program summary. It was established to allow taxing authorities, local authorities, to exempt improvements to a business property if it's located in a distressed community. So Palmerton is determined as a distressed community. What we're looking at is establishing a program in that area to allow a certain percentage of tax abatement for a certain period of time. Next slide. So any city, county, or borough, incorporated town, those taxing authorities that have the authority to levy real property taxes are participants in this program. So that would include Palmerton School District, Palmerton Borough, and Carbon County itself. Next slide. These are the uses and the purposes of a LRTA. LRTA is Local Economic Revitalization Tax Assistance Program. So anything for repairs or construction improvements required to alleviate health concerns. In this instance, with this particular project, it would be construction of 4 warehouses over the course of 4 years. Next slide. So here you see that the local taxing bodies can provide an exemption on the assessment attributed to the actual cost of the improvements. So that would be the improvements in this instance would be the construction of warehouses, which Mr. Patrol will go a little bit further into that when we get to his portion of the presentation. Next slide. So the law allows for a period of up to 10 years to have this program in effect. You can determine between the taxing bodies on what kind of percentage of the taxes would be abated or relieved in what period of time. So for instance, if we go to the next slide, we can show what the savings would be. So for the first year, when you have occupancy for a building, in this instance, when one of the warehouses is constructed and it is approved for occupancy, you can start the first year of 100% abatement of the assessed valuation of the improvement, which would be the warehouse itself. So let's say that the property is assessed at $100,000. So any taxes that are collected on that assessed property would still be collected for that amount. You just would not be collecting any additional taxes that would be based on the new assessed valuation of the new building. As you move forward into the next several years of the LRTA program, your taxes would, your assessed, your percentages would change. So let's say you are allowing 100% relief, tax relief for the first year, the second year 90%, the third year 80%, and so on until you get to 100% taxes that would be paid by the 10th year. So what that does is that allows any businesses that are coming in to kind of ease into their new tax assessed amount. So they're not hit right away off the top with the increase in their taxes. We just kind of work with them over the course of the 10 years and ease them into their increased taxes. Next slide. So LRTA is just one of the other tools in our economic development toolbox to help us to attract new businesses to come into an area, which is what this will be doing. So I know you're all familiar with the North Face project, which is the old West plant for the zinc company in Palmerton. It's a brownfield site. It's been reclaimed by the owners. They're almost completed in their reclamation process. And so what this would do is, what they are wanting to do is construct 4 warehouse buildings over the course of 4 years, 1 building a year until full build out in the 4th year. And so this particular tax assessment or tax abatement program would be going with each individual building as they're constructed. And so it wouldn't be the entire process or the entire parcel at once, each building as it comes online to be able to be occupied by its tenant. Next slide. I believe that's it. So that concludes my part of the presentation. So Mr. Patrol, he's next up, and he will dive a little bit deeper into what his project entails. If anyone has any questions for me, just let me know.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Kathy,
Yes.
good morning and thank you. And also thank you for the CHIRP webinar this morning. Hey, I have a question from a constituent, and they wanted to know if there were any state or federal incentives that North Face could use in lieu of, putting that tax burden or loss of tax revenue burden on the municipalities and the school district.
There is a KOZ that could be done, I assume. Right now, we haven't investigated any other tax incentives for that project. The developers just came to my office and asked to do a LRTA program and help them to put together a presentation, and that's what we've been working on.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else?
So maybe one quick comment, Kathy. I know this is not the first time we've had requests for this on the county level, and I do believe we are working with the ones up in the McAdoo Industrial Park, correct, in Kidder Township, the warehouse. And I know we tried to do one in Weisport Borough. And I just wanted to point out that unfortunately, the people were not aware of that program and had already started the renovations, a rather expensive renovation. I don't recall the dollar amount. And because it had already started and didn't have this approved prior, unfortunately, they weren't able to use the alert attack. So I just wanted to make that aware, the public aware of that, or any businesses that may be looking to revitalize any properties in any of the communities in the county.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. You can have started the project before you apply for the LRTA. So that is correct in what happened in Weisport, yes.
That's all I have. Okay. Mr.
Okay.
Patrol.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for the time and your attention. I appreciate it. I want to answer that question really quickly. That we had looked at a few other things, and the Keystone Development Zone is an option, but it doesn't quite fit what this project is going to entail. There's a job creation tax credit that can be applied for, but again, that's after the fact and after you've shown that you've actually developed a certain amount of jobs. There's also a local share account, which is shared from, I'm assuming, the gambling revenue. However, that would be coming out of the same funds that you would be using those funds for the other things that you designate those funds for. The only other one of any benefit would be a multimodal transportation fund application for any infrastructure and highway development. And I'll get into this right now. That one, it doesn't work for us right now because we're trying to fast track this because we have been approached by developers that want to start with the construction of building number 1 next year. So we're kind of strapped a little bit for time to do some of these. And we want to take advantage of this opportunity. Can I see the next slide, please? Okay, I'm sure you've seen this before. This is the former West Plant site, and it's owned by North Face Development. And we've spent the last 10 plus years in providing the remediation in the form of the capping procedure as recommended by EPA and DEP. We're very well along with it. We believe we can begin with the development and construction of building number 1, which is the westernmost building on your left as you look at this map, and then go down the line, building 2, building 3, and building 4 in subsequent years. At the same time, in 2014, we approached PennDOT regarding access, and we did the occupancy and the study, and we came up with these solutions. They're not the solutions that everyone wants, but they're the solutions that PennDOT seems to deem appropriate. You can go to the next slide. This is the intersection at Mock Chunk Road and Delaware Avenue, where our current construction access is. This would be upgraded to a lighted at-grade intersection, which would allow for traffic to leave the site and get back out onto the ramps. It would allow for traffic from Palmerton to come into the site. It would allow for traffic that was coming from Lehighton to come into the site, but it would not allow for traffic coming up from Northampton County to get in and cross those lanes and make that left-hand turn. So therefore, in conjunction with this, if you go to the next slide, please. It necessitates a right in, right out, which is further down toward Lehighton on 248. And that would then allow that traffic from the Lehigh Valley in Northampton County to continue on 248 until they reach the right in. And it would further allow for traffic out of the site and moving toward the turnpike and toward Lehighton to leave the site that way as well. These improvements, we're hoping that we can get these kind of conjoined with the construction project that's going on 248 now and through, I guess, through next year. We've spoken to that contractor and PennDOT. The only issue here is we have moved this entrance 600 feet toward Palmerton to allow us the configuration of the 4 buildings. And we're still kind of negotiating with that. If PennDOT agrees to it, and they are looking through our engineering right now, this will be completed along with the improvements this year. And that will certainly benefit the region. You see, we've lined it up with the emergency access lane coming in from Mock Chunk Road, which will provide emergency access to 248 in this area, as well as access to the site. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the site and the location. I think we've.
This is Commissioner Notstein, Mr. Petrola. A couple of quick questions. How close are you with the PennDOT access permits and being able to even start construction? If you're saying you have someone looking at next year, is that going to be ready when construction starts so that we don't have heavy construction equipment being put back on the rural roads there and to the residents of the Palmer and Burl there along Hazard Road?
That's correct. This right in, right out, and subsequently the lighted interchange will be done before the building is.
Yeah,
We're trying to get this right in, right out finished this summer, along with the upgrades to 248 as part of it. Right now, they're just looking at our final E&S plan for this.
What about the hazard or the wetland mitigation? Has that been completed or started yet on the west end there?
The wetland mitigation for the 3.12 acres of wetlands will take place on the opposite side of 248. And the first step there is we've cleared some areas so we can get down there, put the BMPs in. So that will be ongoing this spring and this summer. We're starting on the 27th, along with the Lehigh River Conservancy Group and the fishing group down there to actually do a cleanup first. There's been a lot of dumping and things down there. So we've arranged to get everybody together. There's a lot of volunteers involved and our people from North Face. So the first thing we're going to do is clean that area up in there and then commence with the mitigation.
Now in this project, Mr. Patrol, is North Face going to maintain the deed to all this property, and who's going to be the owners? Is this going to have to be subdivided in the future?
Right now, it will be North Face being the owner of the property. If and when these companies come in and they want to build these, it would probably be through a long-term lease purchase.
So who's?
North Face Development would still be the owner and the developer.
Okay. All right. So the way I understand it, the tax break would go to the owners should you sell the properties, correct?
No, the tax abatement program as written by the legislature passes the program with the land. It runs with the land. If the land is sold, it runs with the land.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That was the question. Yeah. Some of the other concerns that I have is the burdens that are being put on the borough as far as stormwater management. I'm sure you have to abide by all the DEP rules and been working with the conservation district as well for the stormwater management plan.
Yes, that was just recently updated and approved.
Okay, and some of my other concerns, the prominent borough already has an industrial line on the property. And what's going to happen to the status of that? Because that supplies other industrial businesses in the community.
And we understand that issue. However, at the same time, I don't believe that's a long-term supply. In fact, they're probably losing money operating the Perryville Dam, which is the source of that water. And not to mention that the Fish and Boat Commission would like to, and they have funds to take out that dam, which allows for spawning of fish and creates a much better situation for the Lehigh River in that area. It would basically make it almost a world-class fishery. So we're working with them. They have looked at other options. They're waiting for approvals from DEP and DRBC on extraction from those other sources so that they can replace that industrial water. As far as the Foundry well, which is on the property, which is a potable water source, that will remain part of their system and a potable water supply. We've agreed with them that we would do certain upgrades to that system as far as redoing the lines and upgrading their pump building.
Is that pump house the one that was flooded out?
No. The one that sustained some water damage was the industrial pump house.
So is that burden going to be put on the borough for the rerouting or whatever they do,
No,
alternate sites, water sites? It won't be. And who would?
None of the things that are going to be done on this site are going to be on them. We're doing all that rearranging of the lines and that are necessary for the potable water. The other assets that Palmerton Water Authority has over on they're actually in the East Plant area, that they are doing that on their own. They're researching and their development of those additional wells are on their own.
But is that because of the loss of the industrial line?
Well, as I said, even they want to be out of the Perryville Dam as a supply source. It becomes not cost effective for them to maintain that as a source and pump that water all the way down into the West Plant site to a booster pump and then pump it all the way to the east side of Palmer and Borough, which the major user there is the recycling plant at the old East Plant. It would be much more economical for them to have that source there. Any other questions that I just want to move along here and get through this?
It's not that I'm against the project or anything. We all benefit from it, the county, the school district, the borough, et cetera. County, we all benefit as well as you do. So we're just a lot of concerns with some of the issues, and have all the DEP and EPA violations been resolved?
Yes.
I don't think I have any other questions this time.
I'll wait till he finishes.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Can I go to the next slide, please? So actually, these next 3 slides are a resolution of Carbon County, and this is a draft which was drawn up similar to all the other drafts of a resolution of this type throughout the state of Pennsylvania. And going through it very quickly, it gives authority from the county for LRTA. It gives the borough and the school district the ability to designate those areas. And we are asking only for the West Plant site area to be designated, although once you put LRTA into effect on a county level, it allows for other municipalities to use it. So this I believe, and Kathy, maybe you could speak to this, but I believe once you do this, then it would be up to the individual boroughs or towns and school districts to follow up if they choose to use it in another property. It goes through definitions, what improvement is. An improvement under this LRTA tax abatement program, it should be noted, is solely the buildings. It's not the land. So the current property taxes on the land will be collected at 100%, and there is no abatement. Even as we will finish putting in the right in, right out, and the lighted intersection, those improvements will become part of the property, and the value of the land will increase, and that tax will not be abated in any way, shape, or form. So just to start the project, there are going to be a tax flow into the taxable bodies that wasn't there before.
Well, let me ask a question, Kathy in particular. It's not my understanding what you said, Mr. Patrol, about this this resolution here, that it's my understanding it does not apply to the rest of the county. Each individual school district, borough, and the county would have to agree for each of these LRTA applications in their municipality. So it's not a one fits all type of resolution.
No, I agree. I agree there. That's not, I'm sorry if I was, I misunderstood it.
I misunderstood, but
It's not. It's the county is basically resolving that that they will agree to work with those other taxing entities under LRTA. Okay. Yes, every different one is a different application. You're correct in that regard. And just finishing up, if you go to the next slide. Right click on it. All this does, and again, this is basically from the 1977 resolution by the state legislature. It basically lays this out. It lays out the exemption schedule. It lays out a revocation of exemption. And again, you can read this. The basic exemption schedule is what we call a 10-year, 10% step down, what Kathy was explaining. So once a occupancy permit is pulled, that starts the clock ticking. In the first year, there's 100% exemption. The second year, there's a 90% exemption. The third year, 80, 70, 60, and so on until the exemption runs out, and now it's taxed at its full rate. And I want to add that throughout this, and I'm going to get in the next slides here, I'm going to get into assessment values. Throughout this, the assessment values and your millage rates can be raised, and they are paid based on the percentage of the abatement. Okay, so if in year 4 the taxes are higher than in year 1, you pick up those taxes too. It's not like it's locked in to the tax rate and schedule that was set up when the building came online. Okay, it's susceptible to any raises in millage or assessment. And the last page, please. Next page. That just, again, severability. Okay. Go to the next page. Okay, so what I did was I looked at all the large distribution size buildings in the immediate area. And these are mostly contiguous areas, contiguous counties, some contiguous school districts. And I went through all these buildings. This is the school board tax rate, the square footage of the buildings, and what they ended up appraising these buildings for. And you ended up with an average appraised value of $32.87 a square foot. I can assure you that's not what these buildings cost. Build. They cost a lot more than that. But using that number, then I went down and looked at Carbon County's tax rate, which I believe is 12.25. The 4 buildings would total 2 million square feet. And the appraised value based on this number, 3287, would be approximately $65 million. The assessed value then would be half of that, $32,870,000, and the total taxes derived would be $402,000. You broke it down by the buildings, and that's what this is a breakdown of those buildings, right? So if you go to the next slide, please. Here's how Carbon County and how it would work. Building 1 is constructed next year. It comes online, let's just say January 1st of 2023, and it's not paying any tax. Excuse me, it comes online in 2022, doesn't pay any taxes. It's 100%. In 2023, it has a 90% abatement. It's paying 10%. In 2024, the second building comes online. So the first one is now paying 20%. The second building is paying 10%. In 2025, we go to building 3. Again, building 1 is now at 30%, building 2 at 20%, building 3 at 10%. So they're throwing off total project taxes beginning in year 2. Okay. You can change the schedule. The county can change the schedule, the borough can change the schedule, and the school board can change the schedule. However, you'll drive your tax collector crazy if you don't all agree on the same schedule. That's what has to be done when you use this. But I mean, you can see it as we go down to year 10, and this would be the schedule. Here's your 14-year total without any increases in taxes or millage rates or assessments. Next slide. Okay. So that's just the property taxes and the abatement schedule. Right. Here's the other side of this project that isn't seen. Completing a 2 million square foot of transportation and logistic warehouse in Palmerton will create approximately 475 construction jobs and 1,500 new full-time employees, FTEs, related to the occupancy of site facilities. Total full-time employment will depend, of course, on the tenant and the final use of the site. Upon build out, the light industrial campus is anticipated to have 2 million square feet. If we apply what's called the Ball State University Center for Business and Economic Research Methodology, the CBER, this provides a total economic impact calculator for counties in the country. They did it for all different counties to determine how a new business will directly and indirectly impact the community based upon the expected number of FTEs resulting from 2 million square feet. CBER estimates a total of 3,383 total FTEs will be created, direct and indirect. Indirect and multiplier jobs are careers created by a new job in the county for support of the new job on site. So the estimated annual production or the direct output of this project would be 358.5 million, and annual production per worker of $106,000. The anticipated output or sales impact in Carbon County is expected to be 426 million, and while generating roughly 15.5 million in direct and indirect business taxes, federal, state, and local government. Next slide, please. And here you see that breakdown. Each building is anticipated to have 119 employees. The total careers in distribution and direct multiplier jobs end up at 846 per building. And that's how you get to 3,383 employees. And that's how you get the calculations on a direct annual output, the county direct annual output or sales impact, and the direct and indirect business taxes generated. So it's not all about property taxes, nor should it be. I think that we just get hung up on the property taxes a little much. Next slide. Okay, so the question is, why do we need this? And simply put, to be competitive. Carbon County has to show that it's committed to being an invested partner in the development of the communities. That is to say, the county is willing to use the tools that the Pennsylvania legislature has already provided to help Carbon County be competitive in the race to broaden our tax base. This isn't a penalty. If you broaden the tax base by allowing us to be competitive and bring in these other companies, it's going to ease the burden, the property tax burden on the individuals of the county. LRTA is one of the tools that's used to do this. The race to be competitive is difficult, and there are many suitors for the limited opportunities that are currently available. Our county, which has suffered so long as a Rust Belt, now has a rare opportunity because of our location to compete and sit at the table with the big boys of the current economy. It's unfortunate that Pennsylvania is somewhat of a poor stepchild in the race. The Pennsylvania effective property tax rate is much higher than the national average, 1.5% compared to 1.07. Pennsylvania maximum corporate marginal tax rate is the second highest in the country. The Carbon County has one of the highest median property tax rates in the United States. It's ranked 372 out of 3,142 counties. It's extremely difficult to compete against other countries, other states, and other counties who are using many of the same developmental tools as LRTA. And the major companies and developers will certainly go where it is most advantageous. There's no doubt about that. As you have seen in the tax pro forma, there's much to be gained from this project. And as I said, the land itself, which does not benefit from this program, will create additional tax revenue as it is reassessed following infrastructure upgrades. Development of the 248 access alone will generate additional assessed value, and it's going to cost nearly $1.5 million, and that's being solely borne by North Face Development. The jobs and the indirect economic impact of the project construction will be substantial to the community and the region in general in the short term. To believe that a tax abatement plan is but charity for the developers is an extremely short-sighted viewpoint, and one which will only keep our communities in the Rust Belt. Though some may say that North Face Development is asking for the stars in pursuing this resolution and program, we believe it's merely asking for a methodology to help ensure that our children and grandchildren can actually go to the stars. We think it's a great opportunity. We thank you for your time in reviewing this. We hope that you will take up and pass this resolution in a timely manner. Thanks for your time.
Any questions, comments? Rocky?
I just want to make some comments, even just, I'd like to start off from the beginning, or even some of the comments that were made here. I mean, it looks like what was presented to us today, within probably 12 to 14 years, we would be up to the full tax rate of that $2.8 million. Now, under this plan, I mean, and I didn't look at the contract that good, but are there provisions in there that you can renew this on, you know, when 8 years comes around, is this going to be renewed? And these projects could wind up being into a 40-year project. You could build one building now, one building in 10 years from now, one building in 20 years from now. And I think what our focus was to have jobs now. I mean, if you look at the other areas, they're building, and I think what the new wave of the future is, and everybody does it. They're ordering online. I think we have to jump on that train if we can now, not in 20 years from now, but just to start at the beginning. And one of the critical things for this job is infrastructure. And I heard you talk about that. You talked to the contractor that they're ready to work on this job, but I don't think they're the ones that determine who is going to be working on this job completely, because is this a separate job? But at the federal level, they've always been talking about investing in infrastructure. Infrastructure is just not blacktopping. It's creating them off ramps and stop intersections that you talked about. And that is what is pertinent to this job to make this job survive. That's the main ingredient there. And you talked about jobs that are coming here, but the jobs that are going to be created on building is part of what we're looking for, but we're looking for jobs that are going to be created that people can have for 20, 30 years and they can work there the rest of their life. And the biggest taxing entities are the schools and the boroughs, but that's on their financial side. They have to figure that out. And, and every entity is giving up something. At the county level, creating jobs may outweigh the deferred tax. And we could probably participate in things of, workforce development for training for people, forklift operators or whatever would have to be done. But what are we actually getting in return for this? And my questions are the tenants owners capable of paying a suitable wage for a job? I mean, I'm not talking about raising the minimum wage. I'm talking about a specific job that pays $15 to $20 an hour. Is that what we're going to get? Will this job be bonded? I mean, there were problems in the past with the roads and the water and everything else. And I think the borough or whatever entity is involved in this should be protected. And are these going to be jobs that are going to be 8 hours a day, 24 hours a day? People might be looking for second shift jobs, third shift jobs pertaining on what their lifestyle is. And on the deferred plan, I have since listening here about some of these things, I have a little bit different of a view on the years of the plan. But that I think it would, that might be a discussion later after we get more information. Because I think some of the information that we were given here, we had it, but maybe it wasn't explained to us right. And I think this is something, it can be great for our county. It would be great to have jobs, but it has to get that first step planted before we start running. And thank you for your time, for all your explanations. And like I said, I'm not looking to condemn this project. I'm looking to help it out. So thank you, Mr. Patrol and Kathy, for your presentation.
Well, good morning. Kathy, before I ask Mr. Patrol a few questions and make some comments, does Schuylkill County, Hazel Township have LRTAs for the Humboldt area?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, there's some of our surrounding counties, including Lehigh Valley, have already taken advantage of LRTA districts.
All right. Thank you.
Can I do some input on that? Lehigh and Northampton certainly have it. And some of those jobs that I quote on my chart there, and they are all written. 100% of the land is taxed and not abated. All of these, they do not abate any of the land tax. And almost all of them are the 10-year, 10% step down methodology. That is Lehigh and Northampton, Lackawanna, Berks and Reading does a 10-year, 10% step down. Dauphin County does a 10-year, 50% abatement per year. York does 10-year, 10% step down. Lebanon does 10-year, 10% step down. Montgomery does 10-year, 10% step down. Luzerne does 10-year, 10% step down. So our competition this is how all of them are structured. Okay, that's why we're asking that when you look at it and you look at the schedule, and I know there's been a lot of discussion about this with the school district and the borough, but that's why we're asking to be the same as all the other counties against whom we're competing for these distribution centers. And Mr. Honor's exactly correct. A lot of this stuff is referred to as last mile, even though it's not the last 1 mile, but it's the last mile. And this is where we're going, and this is why this opportunity is here for us in these central eastern Pennsylvania counties.
All right. Well, Mr. Petrolch, thank you for North Face's investment in Carbon County and specifically the Palmerton area to date. But there has been a cost to the residents, specifically to Palmerton. Have any amends, financial amends, been made for the $240,000 in roadway work or the $84,000 for the flooded pump house? I have estimates as high as North Face making up to $8 million a year for the less than clean fill that had been brought in to the site.
Well, I can categorically tell you that's not true. However, as far as any givebacks, what we are discussing with the Palmerton Water Authority is that we will build them a new building for their foundry well, a 2-story building for their foundry well, which is basically 4 times the size of what they have now. Replace all the lines on the property all the way out to their connection where it crosses under Spelter Road and leaves the site. The give back, it has been spoken about. It's not that we haven't done it. I mean, we've made some contributions in the community, and the roadway issues are the roadway issues. The trucks are really they're not under our full jurisdiction until they come on the site. They're just their businesses running a truck, and our trucks aren't the only trucks that run on Mock Chunk Road. However, all vehicles pay a tax at the pump, including these trucks, which is transferred to a liquid fuels tax and ends up in the coffers of the borough to maintain their roads.
So is there not a civil suit currently pending, Palmerton versus North Face or some element of North Face?
That's correct. It was about
Okay.
It was about the industrial well, and
Okay.
we're still talking about it, and that's why we sit with them on a regular basis and discuss where they are with their solution to their industrial well.
Oh, good. So, many dreams of Carbon County residents have been precipitously crushed, even here in the county seat of Jim Thorpe, right? Formerly Mock Chunk. There's no football hall of fame. There's no large medical facility. There's no sporting goods factory. And not to question the business or the analysis that North Face has done, but although being an optimist, I'm also a realist. I'm not sure if you read the Hazleton Standard Speaker, the Morning Call, or other local newspapers, but a colleague of Kelly Monitz from the Standard Speaker just published an excellent series called Center of Everything, and it focuses on the greater Hazleton area. And my concern is that you have a very steep uphill battle to develop economically attractable warehouses on the former zinc plant property. And I'll give you an example. The greater Hazleton area, which is competitive and actually more competitive because it's the only place in the country where I-80 and 81 come together, will create over 17.7 million square feet. That's 369 football fields worth of it, and employ over 6,200. In addition, the Lehigh Valley, just in the last, between 15 and 2020, 26.7 million square feet. and they're getting ready to approve another 10.3 million square feet. Kidder Township, right, just up here in Carbon County on the edge, just under 1 million square feet. We have the most expensive turnpike in the world. Even makes us less competitive, specifically the Palmerton area to access to a major highway. Does North Face have a plan B other than warehouses?
Well, we have been approached by everything from greenhouses to small light industrial.
Right, and no
And-
sign bills at this time.
And we still believe that the highest and best use for this is for distribution because it's such a large footprint. They have, they basically build these to a plan, much like Walmart or Arby's builds to a specific plan. And so it was this plan that fit into our site, which made it, gave it the popularity that it has now with these distribution people.
So there's
Also, there's one other thing, because it's a brownfield site, and I know there are other brownfield sites, but not as many and not as many square feet as you just recounted. And once you build the buildings, not on a brownfield site, you have to spend immense amount of money to control the water. Either you're sustaining it on the roof by planting grass, or you're retaining it in ponds, or you're pumping it to water the grass. Some of the ones in the Lehigh Valley, they're over $10 million system simply to take care of this water. And on a brownfield site, because it's capped, it's approved by DEP and EPA that water can more readily be distributed back into the nearest water source. That gives this site an advantage, and it's that and a few others that have brought the people who want to develop this to us. Okay, it's not that we're trying to get this and then looking for someone. We have someone's interested in it, and they're saying, okay, we need these tools to be in place. It's the other way around. We're not going to compete with Hazleton. We're basically going to have somebody in here occupying a building, hopefully by the end of 2022.
So did anyone, a representative of North Face, either to the borough or to the municipality, indicate that anything less than a 10-year LRTA was a deal breaker?
Well, if that's the way it's written in the state, and that's the way it's carried out in all of the other counties.
No, I'm sorry,
against.
Mr. Patrol, my question was, I'm sorry if I misspoke or miscommunicated. I'm asking if anyone from North Face either told the an official school district representative or a borough representative, but anything less than a 10-year LRTA was a deal breaker. Not what other counties or other municipalities currently have, because I'm sure there's exceptions to what you explained. But again, my question.
Not to my knowledge that we said that to the school district or to the municipality, but it very well could be.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mr. Troll. I think Chris and Rocky have covered any remaining questions that I may have had, but we'll look at it and see what we can do with. The last question maybe I do have is, by what point in time do we have to have this in place? I guess before a contract is signed to start construction? Maybe Kathy can answer that. What time and point in time do we need that agreement in place, or resolutions from the 3 municipalities or school district?
Well, I
Well,
think-
go ahead, Kathy.
I'm sorry, go ahead, George.
I just, we are going to start construction of the right in, right out, and that's going to happen no matter what. However, as we do that, we would like to have these resolutions in hand at that point in time, so that in a timely manner, we can file the engineering and EP and CCCD applications and get those moving, because as you know, those take some time.
Yeah, you know, and I'll ask that question again and get back to me later, but it's what I brought up earlier. What has to be, I want to word this. There's a time when the project in Weisport was too late to apply. So when is the cutoff? What cannot be done before we do this resolution?
It's my understanding that the construction of the buildings would not be able to be started before the resolution would be in place. The property itself is not going to be part of the LRTA. It's not, that is going to still be paying the 100% tax all along. So the only part of the development that's going to be affected by LRTA would be the buildings themselves. So that being said, time would be still of the essence so that we can keep the project moving along. So as long as all 3 taxing bodies can meet expeditiously and agree or disagree to do this, you know, that would be my comment, that it should be done as soon as we can, but still be taking care that we're doing it the right way.
Agreed.
Okay, I understand, and I think something will be done. It's just they may not be what you really want, everything you want. Let's put it that way. Okay? And then,
Thank you very much for your time again.
Yeah, sure. The school, the borough, and the county are willing to work together to try to do something. Okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we can move on to further business. Other, all business.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item is the report of executive sessions. The department reports, budget transfers, 2020, 2021.
Move to approve. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
A supplemental appropriation.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of check numbers 219-265 through 219-439. Expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $2,759,447.36.
Move to approve. So second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
The personnel report.
Move to approve. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Adult probation. For approval and execution and a request to apply for funding in the amount of $9,541.38 to the AOPC for the Carbon County Drug Treatment Court. Grant will be used to cover a cost of additional hours for adult probation staff, training, purchase of program supplies, and consultants and contracts.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
For approval and execution, the request to apply for funding in the amount of $6,802.88 through the AOPC for the Carbon County Veterans Treatment Court. Grant will be used to cover the cost of additional hours for adult probation staff, training, and purchase of program supplies.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The bid award. For approval, recommendation was received from the purchasing manager to award the contract to the sole bidder, RFO Fuel Oil of Lehighton, Pennsylvania, for number 2 fuel oil and off-road diesel fuel delivery to various county locations. The fixed cost profit will be 49.7 cents per gallon above the published Scranton OPIS price on the date of delivery. Term will commence on April 1, 2021 and terminate on March 31st, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Legal services for approval and execution. Proposal received from Suzanne, Widman, and Brennan, updating the contract with the county, listing current attorneys performing work. The fee structure will remain unchanged. $255 per hour for attorneys Brennan and Shire, $240 per hour for partners, and $225 per hour for associate attorneys.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Marner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Loss prevention for approval and execution. Authorize the submission of an application to the Pennsylvania County's Risk Pool for the 2020-2021 loss prevention grant to purchase a new patrol and rescue boat and extra equipment for the Mount Chunk Lake Park at a cost of $17,209.92.
Move to approve and execute.
I'll second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Solicitors report?
Thank you. Thank you. 4476 Susquehanna Street project for approval and execution. Proposal received from Johnson Controls of Allentown to provide equipment installation and programming for an access control and video system located at 44 and 76 Susquehanna Street for a total cost of $155,800. First payment is $38,981.13. The balance is billed as the project progresses.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mauch Chunk Lake Park for acceptance of proposal received from Pamela L. Snur of Jim Thorpe for operation of the food refreshment concession at Mauch Chunk Lake Park for the term January 1, 2021 through December 31, 2021. Automatic renewal options for 2 successive terms with the final termination date of December 31, 2023. Execution of the lease agreement is contingent upon the proposer obtaining the required food safety manager certification. The annual rental payment is $8,531 plus $80 per month for electric for the period of June through August of each year.
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax Claim Bureau for approval and execution, purchase service agreement under Sourcewell contract with Edwards Business Systems of Wyomissing for a new BizHub printer, copier, scanner at the cost of $8,142 plus per copy quarterly, located in tax claim office. Machine maintenance will be fixed for the first 3 years.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax assessment, communication received from tax assessment verifying the following taxpayers due a refund of county real estate tax. Property in Lehighton Borough of Lehighton School Site LLC. The reason, as per court order, 4 parcels were reduced on an assessment appeal. The refund is based on a total difference in assessed value of $612,870. And the total refund due of county taxes is $7,357.51.
Move to approve the payment.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax claim for approval and execution, amendment number 2 to the agreement between County of Carbon and Palmetto Posting of South Carolina to perform necessary posting in order to comply with the Pennsylvania real estate tax sale law requirements.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax claim for adoption, resolution appointing Palmetto Posting to perform the necessary postings as required by the Pennsylvania Real Estate Tax Sale Law for the 2021 upset tax sale and 2020 notice of return and claim.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business? Hearing none, Commissioners reports. Mr. Honor?
I think I heard him off at this meeting.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yeah, two things. First, I want to thank the Carbon Chamber Economic Development Corporation for the webinar that they hosted this morning, which detailed the guidelines and the process, how they'll be receiving applications for the CHIRP, or COVID Hospitality Industry Recovery Program. I'd encourage those within the hospitality industry under NAICS 721 and 722 to go ahead and watch that webinar, which is on the Facebook page of the Chamber and also the Carbon County Commissioners Facebook page. Otherwise, you can give the Chamber a call at 610-379-5000. It was very well done, so thanks to Alice and Kathy for hosting that and those who participated. Kind of elephant in the room one, numerous emails were received from individuals regarding Gun Owners of America. Just so the public knows, we have received quite a few emails on, let me call it, the affirmation, the request for the affirmation of Second Amendment guarantees in our Constitution. The commissioners received 51 from in-county residents, and then 59 emails from non-Carbon County residents supporting Carbon County residents who asked us to make consideration in the future of affirming the constitutional rights and the Second Amendment. If I recall, we did receive a couple earlier emails kind of opposing that. But I just want to bring that up because, again, we see that kind of percolating around our municipalities, and we expect in the future that something will be presented formally to the Board of Commissioners. So we are continuing to accept those comments, of course, read them and take them into any potential decision that will have to be made in the future. That's all I have.
A lot of those were out of state as well.
Yeah, there
I
were.
don't know if you had that in your count.
Yep.
As,
No, I did not.
out of county.
Yeah. Yep.
Quite a few from out of state as
Yeah.
well. Just another announcement here that Rocky Order will be baking a birthday cake for Saturday. He's having a birthday party at his home in celebration of the 178th birthday of Carbon County.
Yeah.
Hours are from 11 to 5. Parking is limited.
We'll have a Google map up on the county website for those who are familiar where Rocky lives.
Yeah, I'll make it a big. But all joking aside, you know, most people don't realize maybe that Carbon County was an offspring of Monroe and Northampton counties at one time, and this event took place 178 years ago. This coming Saturday, 178 years ago. I don't think any of us were here that week. So that's all I have for today. Meeting adjourned. We'll give you a couple seconds. Let me know when you're ready. Ready? Okay. Lisa, are you ready? Lisa Dart.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'll call the meeting, monthly meeting of the election board to order. I'll turn it over to Lisa Dart.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay,
Short agenda this morning. Approval of the minutes from the election board meeting held February 11th, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
I don't really have, I mean, you can check with if there's guests. I just have one thing I want to reiterate, which I know you have all been doing at the commissioners meeting. I want to make sure people are aware if they are unaffiliated, they will only be able to get the ballot for the questions that the state is going to have. I know they're going to get it and some people are going to be upset about it. I just keep trying to put it out there so they know that's all they will be receiving. Normally, if there was no questions, they wouldn't be receiving a ballot at all.
Okay, now, how many referendum questions are on the ballot? Just for the
3.
public? 3. Right, okay. All right,
Yes.
just to ask, are there any guests on the line for election board business only? Hearing none. Okay, turn it back over to Lisa. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else unless anyone has any questions or you guys have anything.
Okay, hearing none. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Kelly. Morning.
Good morning. I have nothing this morning. Hope you all have a good day.
Thank you.
You too, Kelly. Thank you. Who else do we have there? Amy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Commissioner Lukasevich, you had asked George about a 5-year abatement plan, saying that anybody from North Face approach it.
No,
Um,
what, Amy, correction, what I asked him was if anyone from North Face had stated that anything less than a 10-year agreement was a deal breaker.
Okay. Is that an alluding to what Palmerton School Board had talked about with a possible 5-year abatement that they would approve?
Right, it stems from that, what I read in the Times News and through discussions.
Okay. I was just wanting to make sure I'm on the same page.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I have then. Thank you very much.
Okay. I don't see anyone, somebody on the line there on the phone from News Media? 2313.
That was Lisa's. I think that's Lisa's.
Is that you, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all right, well then, thank you. Okay.